Hello and welcome to my channel where I present information about applying for funded master's programs. The very first step in this application journey to graduate school is identifying or selecting a research topic. As you can see, I have a couple of windows here from different universities. The first two windows are for proving to you that the admissions committee expect you to have some ideas about the research area that you may want to study when you are admitted into graduate school. The first website here is University of Saskatchewan in Canada. Let me go down and let me highlight this area here. As you can see, it's written, keep in mind that your initial email does not need to be extensive. That is the initial email that you write to a professor that you are proposing to be your prospective thesis supervisor or mentor. Keep in mind that your initial email does not need to be extensive. Strive to be comprehensive but concise. Be sure to include the following information. 1. Explain your research topic or area of interest. 2. Summarize your educational and relevant academic, professional, and voluntary experiences. 3. Suggest a telephone call or a virtual meeting, that is Zoom or a Google meeting, something like that. So clearly you can see from point number 1, they expect you to have some ideas. They don't expect you to have a final thesis topic, but they expect you to have research ideas about the broad area that you're thinking about. Let's go to website number 2 from University of British Columbia in Canada. Let us see what they have to say about research interest. Let me go down. Yes, you can see here. And if you feel stuck, start with these questions. That is, if you feel stuck while you're writing this essay that they have suggested above. Number 1, why are you interested in this field of study? Number 2, what is your background and how does it relate to this program? Number 3, can you describe your previous research experience and how it has formed your current interests? Number 4, what is your motivation for proposing a particular research pathway? Are you able to connect your area of interest to work being done in the department? So far you can see there are 3 statements which imply that they expect you to have some ideas of research. That is the second website. And up to that point, I think we are done. I think it is very clear that they require you or they expect you to have some ideas about what you want to research about as you make preparations to apply to graduate school. Now, number 3 website is about where to find information. This website from Duke University in the US, where to find information about graduate programs. Let us see what they have to say. There you are. They are proposing that you find information about your prospective program from the website of the graduate program. You will find things like, number 1, program description. How does the program present itself and its areas of research? Does it match your interests? Can this program cater for your long-term and short-term career goals? Are there details on the curriculum? Are there details about financial support? Are there details about research or teaching requirements? That is, the details about research that is going on in the department. Number 2, the program normally has faculty directory. By faculty, we mean professors. In the West, they call them faculty. In Africa, we call them lecturers. Explore the departmental faculty members' research interests. Is there a match for yours? Are there more than one faculty that you could envision conducting your graduate study with? So you can see again, it's a repeat of what the other two websites were saying. They expect you to come in with some research ideas. I think it is very clear that all these three websites explain that the admissions committee expect you to explain what kind of research you want to carry out. Number 3, we have information about the program's graduate students. What is the admission rate? What is the composition of the program's student body? And most importantly, what careers do the program's graduates go on to do? Such that you can have an idea of what the alumni or the previous students have actually gone on to do, so that you can match it against your long-term career aspirations or career goals. So in short, that's the information that you can get from a graduate program website. Next, let us have a look about the information regarding admissions requirements. Where do we get this information regarding our program of choice? To answer that, I have this website from the University of Arizona in the US. You can see this is a graduate college website. That is a central website for all the departments in the university. As you can see, the admissions requirement, each program at the University of Arizona has its own set of requirements. In addition to the graduate college minimum requirements outlined on this website. Please consult our graduate admissions guide for specific program requirements. In other words, these are umbrella requirements from graduate school covering all departments across the university. But in addition to this, each individual program has some stipulations, some requirements specific to them, which means these requirements will have to be included in your application, failure to which the admissions committee will not review your application. So according to graduate school, these are the requirements: entrance exams, test of English as a foreign language, graduate record examination, those are the common ones, and maybe GMAT, grade point average, that's the GPA. And for international applicants, you have English proficiency, financial guarantee and visa requirements, health insurance, transcript and degrees. That is according to graduate college. Let us have a look at a sample program which has stated its own admission requirements. You can see this is Illinois State University in the USA, School of Biological Sciences. Here we have the admissions divided into two parts. The upper part is admission requirements according to the university. In other words, admission requirements according to graduate school at Illinois State University. There they are. You must have a 4-year degree. Submit. That's number one. Number two, submit an official transcripts. Number three, if admitted, the transcripts can be emailed from the university to admissions office, or alternatively, if admitted, official international transcripts can be emailed directly from the international institution to this graduate school email. That is it. We have additional requirements from graduate school admission, and then we have admission requirements specific to this degree, that is MS in Biological Sciences, according to the admissions committee at the department. GPA must be 3.0. That's point number one. And yeah. Number two is prior research requirement. They expect you to have some research experience. Next is lab requirement. They are saying that they do not admit graduate students unless the student has at least one faculty member, one professor, who is willing to have them in their lab. They have given a link here to the faculty members in the department, so that by clicking on this link, you will go to a list of the professors. From the list, you will have a look at what kind of research each and every one of them does. So from the research, you will be able to choose which professor has research which aligns to your research interests. Remember, it's upon you to explain how your research experience is actually connected, or how your research experience is related to the work that the professor, a specific professor, is doing. Let me click on one professor, this number one here, Kevin Edwards, and let's see the kind of research that this professor is doing. This is how you go about it. This is the page of Professor Edwards. You can see down here, research interests and areas: Drosophila molecular genetics, cell and developmental biology, and biological microscopy. Those are the research interests in summary. Let's go to the specific lab website. If you can see where my cursor is, that is where the specific link to the lab website is. If you click on it, you will go to the specific lab website for this professor, where there's more details, possibly about the current projects going on, And maybe if the professor is looking for graduate students at the moment. You can see about us. The Edwards Lab studies basic processes in molecular, cellular, and developmental biology that are linked to cancer, muscular dystrophy, and other human diseases. We primarily use the Drosophila melanogaster model system since much of the cancer-related cell machinery is highly conserved from flies to humans. We also work to expand molecular genetics and imaging technologies that are applicable to diverse organisms and to provide microscopy services to Illinois State University and the national community. Down here we have recent publications from Dr. Edwards. You can click on it and see what is available. Recent publications from the professor. There you are. Let's go back. Edwards Lab Research. Click for an overview of our research. If you can see where my cursor is, let's click for an overview of the research in Dr. Edwards' group. So that is a summary of the research going on in the research group. Advanced confocal microscopy, hostile takeover systems for inducible protein traps, cell structure and proliferation, tyrosine phosphatase, scanning electron microscopy of uncoated insects. So now assume your research interests align, that is, they are similar or the same to these topics. Then what you'll do, you'll contact the professor and explain, one, your past experiences, two, how your past experiences can be of use in these projects, so that from there you can start a discussion and the professor can take you in, assuming that there is funding and there is enough space. There is a vacancy for an additional graduate student. So let's go back. Let's go back to where we were. So that's how you identify a professor, and then you initiate a communication with the professor, so that at the end of the day the professor might recruit you into the research group. Yes, there we are back to where we started. Next is how to prepare a strong application to graduate school. Sometimes they call it a competitive application, sometimes they say a strong application, but basically they all mean the same thing. An application that stands out, an application that increases your chances of being admitted. This is from Duke University again in the US. How to prepare a strong graduate school application. Let me read here. You found the perfect graduate program, one with a world-class faculty whose research excites you, an academic experience that will challenge you, a diverse and inclusive culture, a supportive environment with outstanding faculty and peer mentors, and lots of resources to help you succeed, no matter which career paths you want to pursue. Now it is time to convince that program that you are a great match for it as well. Here are some suggestions to help you prepare a strong application. Suggestion number one is preparing for graduate school during undergraduate years. That is by having some experience in research. Yeah, that is suggestion number one. Suggestion number two is more about the timetable, the timing of your application. Make arrangements to obtain your transcripts and upload them 8 weeks before the application deadline. Make arrangements for entrance exams, that is, if they are required. Contact recommenders. Prepare final versions of your statement of purpose. And complete and submit applications with required application fees at least 2 weeks prior to the deadline. That is step number 2. Step number 3 is what is more interesting and more critical. Step number 3. What is evaluated during the graduate school application process? Number 1. Your fit with the department or the program in terms of research goals. You see now research is coming up again. So they expect you that you have an idea or some kind of direction where your research will go. So let me read again. You are fit with the department or a program in terms of research goals, work culture, or other measures. Number 2, relevant research or internship experience. You see research is coming up again. You must have research experience. It doesn't say you must have publications, but at least you must have an idea of what research entails, an idea of what it means by study design, an idea of what it means by research instruments, an idea of what it means by data collection and data analysis. Number 3, statement of purpose. Number 4, letters of recommendation from suitable people. There are people that the admissions committee deems suitable to be able to judge the ability of a student to succeed in graduate school. Not everybody can write a recommendation letter, but that one is for later. Undergraduate grades, GRE scores, or any other test like GMAT, that is if the program requires it. And lastly, patterns of academic study and relevance patterns of academic study and relevance of prior coursework to proposed graduate study. I think that is understood in a layman's language. Have you done undergraduate coursework that is relevant to the program you propose to enter? I think that is an easier way of putting it. Let us examine another aspect. Tips for a strong statement of purpose in graduate school. A strong statement of purpose. Many graduate programs require personal statement or statement of purpose as part of your application. As you write this statement, keep these suggestions in mind. Keep these suggestions in mind according to Duke University. And remember, there are some programs which specify what kind of content they expect in their statement of purpose. So your first port of call is to get in touch with the program administration. By program administration, I mean the program director or the chair of department. You are free to ask them, what do you expect in my statement of purpose? They are happy to answer that. So back to our discourse. Many graduate programs require personal statement and a statement of purpose as part of your application. As you write that statement, keep these suggestions in mind. Number one, make the statement about you, your skills, your potential, and your interest in graduate studies, in particular department program at a particular institution. In other words, draft a statement of purpose that is tailor-made, that is specific to a given program, such that if you apply to another program after 2 weeks, you will not recycle this current statement of purpose. Number two, avoid misrepresentation. Number three, engage the reader using active words. 4. Avoid negative or judgmental statements. 5. Do not describe in detail what you have done. Briefly state and explain what you have learned, how it led to your interests, and how it has prepared you for a success in graduate school. Next, state why you are interested in graduate school and in a particular field of study. Next, share your motivation and career goals. Why do you want to do this program? How does this program fulfill or contribute to your short-term goals and long-term goals? Next, share why you have chosen to apply to a particular institution. Why apply to Duke University, or why apply to University of Windsor, or why apply to any other university. Next, if possible, indicate faculty with whom you have interests to work with. Here again, your research interests are being considered, because in the statement of purpose, you don't indicate, you don't just list that the Professor X is a suitable mentor for me. You have to list and then justify, explain why that professor is a good mentor for you. And normally the reason is being you have a match between your research interests and the research interests of the professor. Next, do your homework. Know the school, know the admissions and enrollment statistics for your department or program of interest. Know application deadlines. Next, avoid form essays. A statement of purpose is always written in continuous prose. Next, follow the application directions and guidelines for each institution. I think I've talked about that before. And the last aspect to fine tune so that your application is a strong one is the interview. How do you ace the interview? How do you prepare for the interview and make sure that you succeed? Before the interview, number one, before your interview, look closely at the website for the schools and departments you are applying to. Number two, show that you have done your homework on the program's faculty, the program's professors. Show that you've done your homework on the program's faculty research, and be able to talk about specific faculty whose work interests you. We keep on repeating this. You can never be admitted if there is no professor who is able to supervise what you are interested in studying. That's the professor that they call the chairman of the thesis committee. He's there to supervise your thesis work and at the same time fund your thesis work. So where were we? Yes, number 3, be prepared to talk about your research interests, how your educational and professional background has prepared you for graduate study. Next, why this particular program will be a good fit for you. Why this particular program? Why specifically this one is important. Next, if you are applying to the same institution where you did your undergraduate, why you think that institution and that program is still the best program for your graduate study. Be prepared to ask questions about typical funding. Number 2, the program's teaching and research requirements. Number 3, the departmental culture. And next, resources for professional development and student well-being, like career guidance and such like things. The environment of support for graduate students, both in the department and in the university at large. And lastly, the point of contact for questions. I think we have come to the end of today's video, and as usual, this is basically a video to invite debate. Give your comments, and if you found this video useful, please share so that more people can be able to get this information. And you might consider subscribing so that you don't miss any future videos like this one. Thank you and bye bye for now.